Good evening. Thousands of trees planted along the route of the high-speed rail link have died because they haven't been sufficiently watered. The company behind the line, HS2, calls the route the Green Corridor. Well, in some areas, it's thought that 70% of the trees are now dead. They'll all need to be replaced at the taxpayers' expense, adding further to the cost of the controversial scheme. Our transport correspondent Peter Plisner has this exclusive report.
As far as the eye can see, the beginnings of a new forest and all part of HS2's plans for a green corridor. Scenes like this are repeated all over the region alongside the proposed line. The problem is, on this and other sites around the area, many of the trees appear to have died. Around 8,000 trees have been planted here, and if you look down the various plastic tubes, you get a good idea of what's going on. I reckon that in some places, around 70% of the trees have died and will now need to be replanted. Those who've campaigned against high-speed rail say the dead trees are just another example of HS2 wasting money.
This is an environmental disaster. Planting thousands of trees on this site, planting hundreds of thousands of trees up and down the line, allowing them to die because you can't be bothered to water them, it's almost as big a disaster as causing havoc and destruction over 100 ancient woodlands to build this project.
And just down the road, another planned HS2 nature reserve, and here too the trees are dead. Farmer Derek Hyatt owns the land, and he can't believe what's happened.
If 5% of those trees are alive, I'd be quite surprised.
What do you make of it all? I mean, you know, they've planted these trees with taxpayers' money and let them die, haven't they?
Yes, literally, yeah, and they never said a word. We never got any information that they were going to plant trees there. They just did it.
Tailored landscape design and tree planting will blend the railway into its surroundings.
HS2 says it's committed to replacing trees lost through the construction of the line, 7 million in all. To date, around 300,000 of them have already been planted. At this local wildlife trust, they say the new nature reserves are a vital part of the HS2 project.
Nature needs space, it needs a network to move around, and without these green corridors, fundamentally they'll become trapped. If they're trapped, then obviously they don't have resilience within their populations, and therefore nature really is on the back foot.
HS2 blames last year's hot weather, saying young trees are especially vulnerable. It's confirmed that they will be replaced, probably later in the year.
And Peter joins us now from Warwickshire, close to one of the new nature reserves. Peter, this does seem pretty basic. Why weren't these trees watered?
Well, Mary, HS2 say it simply wasn't sustainable. In the statement, they say replacing the trees is more cost-effective than transporting significant quantities of water around the area, as well as the ethical use of resources during the hot weather. They add that 2018 was the hottest summer since records began in 1910.
And Peter, just bring us up to date on HS2 itself. A lot of preparatory work going on, but still no construction. When is that likely to start?
Well, preparations are going on. They're moving pipes in many areas. They're demolishing houses, but so far no construction. That was due to start in October last year, but that date came and went with nothing happening. Then it was going to be the summer of this year, but now we're hearing it could be into next year. HS2 are still negotiating with construction firms about the price of building HS2, and of course the government is got to give something called a notice to proceed. That was supposed to happen in June this year. It looks like it's going to be December now.